All right, man, peace. You know, brothers, it's very common as we age to start to seek out forms of expression so that we can feel more youthful. For those of you brothers who read the scriptures in 1 Kings, the first chapter, as King David started to pine away, he had many of his attendants search out his kingdom for a young maiden who might be able to reinvigorate him, to add some vitality back to his life as he felt himself starting to wane. Even today amongst females, there's the concept of the quote-unquote cougar, the older female who seeks out younger men, of course, to make herself feel younger. Amongst older men, they claim that he's going through a quote-unquote midlife crisis whenever he decides that he wants to maintain any level of quote-unquote youthful vigor. As I've always stated on this channel, and as I've always told you, brothers, athletes die twice. They die when they're forced into retirement due to the degradation of their skills and their athleticism, and then there's their actual death. And as we've seen in the past amongst great and prominent athletes, as they start to wane, they become more and more delusional. They start to seek out challenges, especially amongst younger athletes. And the more delusional the athlete, the younger the person he or she will seek out, but usually he will seek out to allegedly challenge himself in order to see if he quote-unquote still has it. And that's the case with Mr. LeBron James, the superstar small forward of the LA Lakers. He sees his athletic mortality on the horizon. He knows that that light at the end of the tunnel is a train coming his way. And he's trying to align himself with his son's basketball team more and more. And we see many of these situations where he either tries to jump into the layup line and do some fancy 360 slam dunks or what have you to make himself feel younger. Now he's decided that he's going to take on one of his son's teammates in a three-point shooting competition. And of course, that raised the ire of LeBron James' #1 fan, that being Mr. Shannon Sharpe. So of course, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
LeBron is not in the playoffs for the first time in a long time, but guys, don't worry, he is staying busy shooting against a kid. LeBron posted a video yesterday having a three-point shooting contest with a 14-year-old teammate of his son Bronny, Gabe Cups. Both LeBron and Gabe made their first 3 shots, then Gabe missed, and LeBron made his final shot for the win. Afterwards, LeBron wrote on Instagram, "I got called out by my..."
It's so funny. It's so funny looking at LeBron James stare at this kid as he wins a three-point shooting contest against a 14-year-old.
"By my guy, and in my opinion, the best shooter for the class of 2023. Gabe Cups today told him about a certain swish I can hit when needed, and he didn't believe me. Well,
Of course he didn't believe you because he watched those 2011 NBA Finals. He's old enough to have seen you choke in 2011, LeBron James. That's why. He was 5 years old, sitting on his father's knee, watching your ass choke like you swallowed a piece of steak and then went down the wrong way.
Well, he found out the hard way. Still my guy Cups, nevertheless." Shannon, what was your reaction to this?
Jenny Taft, as you know, this time period has been very rough for LeBron and our family, the LeBron Sharpe James family. And this little situation is just another example of the lack of respect that my man is receiving on a daily basis. Skip, we can barely go outside anymore. Right now, the people, they laugh at us, they mock us, they point. I look at LeBron and I say, "Nigga, what have you done now? I can barely go to work in the morning and argue with that old ass white man because you're embarrassing us every day, every single day." But yes, I was there, Skip Bayless. We were there to watch Bronny and the rest of the team try to win. Then this little white boy called us out. And I say us because I was the first person to engage him in one-on-one combat, Skip. I had 25 straight three-pointers, but they left that off the clip for whatever reason. And then LeBron got up there and finally made 3. I looked at him and I said, "You better have made them shots. Because if you had missed even one, the locks would have been changed on our home. You would have no longer been allowed in our mansion."
I love it. Hey, it's all about the switch. But sometimes, Skip, you got to show people. Some people see better than they hear. See, when he told him, he didn't believe it. So now I got to show you.
Really?
Skip, I don't know if you noticed this, but I read where Bruce Lee would be great martial art. You know, Bruce Lee was unbelievable, Skip. But they say there were fellow actors and extras that would have nothing to do with a scene, would actually challenge Bruce Lee. He would stop shooting.
Actually, what would happen is, and Shannon's telling the story relatively correctly, when Bruce Lee was filming Enter the Dragon, there would be extras there who would jump down from on top of the wall where they were sitting, and they would pound their feet 3 times on the ground, which meant that they were trying to issue a challenge to Bruce Lee to see if he was as good a martial artist as he claimed he was. And as Shannon is about to say, it's true. Bruce Lee would engage them in one-on-one combat. And that's not the only time that that would happen. during the filming of that movie. He would also get challenged on his daily runs throughout the city. One time, there was a person who tried to jump over the wall that encircled his home to challenge him. And Bruce Lee stated that he kicked that man in the chest harder than he ever kicked anybody in his life. He said he was trying to kill that man. And that's one of the unfortunate consequences of being as famous as Bruce Lee was at that time. His fame literally started to suffocate him and just enclose upon him at that time. He was a very unhappy person near the end of his life. But that's a whole other video for another day.
What?
No way.
Dust him up?
Yeah, I would love to see Shannon Sharp do karate. Well, what? That board is too thin for me. I'm strong as hell.
Action. Go back to doing what he do. Then this young man called out Bron. Bron was there to watch his son.
Skip, I know that for a fact because I was sitting right next to Bron. It was me, Bron, and Savannah. We were there to watch Bronny. And all of a sudden, this little white boy called us. I couldn't believe the shit.
Hey, they didn't want to do it. You think Bron wanted to do this to him? But you know what? Let me go ahead. Wop. Now,
Really?
Now, this young man ain't gonna challenge Bron no more.
Never again. That's how you treat a bully, Skip Bayless. That's why I whoop your ass every day.
Sometimes, Skip, that's what
Oh,
you
really?
gotta do.
You taught him a lesson? Yeah.
That's what you got to Skip. You got to stay in your place. You know,
Really?
hey, my uncle used to tell me, you know, as they started getting older, they would challenge my grandfather. Guess what? Barney Porter put that thing on him right quick.
Hell yeah. My grandfather whoop ass, Skip. He said, you show out, you get woe out.
That went away.
Really?
Never challenge him again. So that's what you do. Somebody challenge you, put that fire to him. You don't have to worry about it. Going about your business for
I agree with that.
the rest of the day.
So, to continue your Bruce Lee analogy, what would have happened if a 14-year-old had walked on the set and said, I want you, Bruce? What do you think Bruce Lee
Bruce
would
would
have
put
done?
that pain to it.
He would not have.
Shannon said Bruce would have put that pain to him. Who knows? Knowing Bruce Lee, he might have.
Not
Yeah,
have.
Bruce
He'd
put
have
that
said,
pain to it.
Next.
No.
He'd have said, could somebody get him out here, please?
No,
Could somebody take him back to his mom, please?
No.
Take him to his mom.
Seriously?
Yeah.
When I saw this, first I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a parody. And then
I never viewed it as a joke. I just look at LeBron James as someone who's a very childish character. He has a lot of childish ways about him. He enjoys hanging around children because he's a lot like a child. All that being said, if the young man did indeed challenge him in the way in which LeBron James alleges that he challenged him, then of course you get your ass out there on the court and you spank him real quick and then you head on back to the sideline. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm not going to get on LeBron James too much about this. It is what it is. If the boy challenged him, then he has to show him what's what.
I realized when LeBron is walking off the floor, looking back at him like, I got you. That
I love
he
it.
took this dead seriously.
Right.
He was actually bragging by posting that he outshot a 14-year-old in what was, I think, a 4-shot three-point shooting contest.
Shannon, what do you have to say about your man? It's unbelievable. I'm there on LeBron James' Instagram as I am every morning, noon, and night, watching to see how he's updating his Instagram, his social media, because I am a member and a follower of him on every social media outlet known to man. And I'm watching this and I'm shocked. I'm like, LeBron James, why would you go back and forth with a 14-year-old child? A white child at that. Wow.
We were going to go into Bron was prepared to make 20 in a row
Okay.
if that's what it needed.
And when
Skip, I promise you, LeBron was locked and loaded.
I tweeted about this last night, I couldn't see for sure, but I do think it was the NBA three-point line.
Yeah, it was. It was the NBA three-point line.
First I thought it was the shorter one, but there's so many lines on the floor that the more I look at it now,
Skip, I have to agree with you, Skip. I was a bit confused looking at that flow. I said, damn, there's a lot of lines on that flow. It looked like Skip Bayless's face. Your face got all type of lines on it, Skip.
now I think maybe it's the distant one,
Yeah.
but the kid is 14 years old. It has come to this for poor LeBron James.
Well, Skip, as I stated in my introduction, he is getting older. He is seeing the beginning of his athletic mortality. And sometimes he just wants to feel a little bit more youthful. It's the stage that he's going through right now.
He's out of the playoffs, and he's trying to brag about putting a 14-year-old in his place. The shame of this. It's so beneath the dignity of a guy that you used to call the best player on the
That ain't no
planet.
use to.
Skip Bayless, when has LeBron James ever been dignified? Nothing against the brother. He has a lot of great qualities. Dignity has never been one of them.
Are you kidding
Hold on,
me?
Skip. So I must make sure I'm hearing you correct. Now we see golf. Young kids be on the pro tour. So do they feel sorry for him? It's like, oh my goodness, no. They're in age.
They don't shoot 14-year-olds.
Yeah, they do. If they make the cut.
On the tour?
Yeah, if they make if they make the cut, they be out there. Michelle Wee used to play. Annika Sorrell used to play with the men. Skip, if you step up.
Okay.
Skip, go ahead and flex on me right now. Approach me like you gonna hurt me. Watch what I do. You think I'm gonna go easy on you because you're old? Hell no. I promise you I'll mop the floor with your old ass.
Okay.
Put it down.
You're stooping to have to show us that you can outshoot a 14-year-old. That this is a...
Skip Bayless, I don't give a damn if it's a newborn baby that challenges us to a three-point shooting contest. We're going to take him up on offer.
This is a guy that you say is on Mount Rushmore.
What would you have said?
It's just so beneath him. It's just so wrong. It has come to this for LeBron James.
Okay, I'll give you...
You're better than that.
You see what he said? You heard what he said now? Now, Michael Jordan once came to CP3's basketball tournament.
Okay.
And everybody was going to get free shoes if Michael Jordan missed a what was it, 15-foot, 18-foot shot, Skip? Why would Michael Jordan even do that?
Well, I'll say this, Shannon Sharp, and the example that you bring up is a relatively pertinent one, but I will say this. I believe that it was Chris Paul who challenged Michael Jordan to make that shot. I don't believe that it was a young man in the crowd who challenged Michael Jordan to make the shot for everyone to have the right to get a free pair of sneakers. But if I'm wrong about that, it is what it is. Either way, I don't think that it's that big a deal, just like I don't think that LeBron James taking the young man up on a three-point shooting contest is that big a deal. Sometimes you have to put a younger athlete in their place or a younger person in their place so that they can understand the disparity between yourself and themselves and give them something to strive for.
Why would he just not go ahead and give the kid free shoes? No, he stepped to the plate, knocked it down, so he wouldn't have to give by free shoes. So with LeBron James, he's like, I just want to let you know, I'm still GOAT James over here. Don't you? And you know what? You'll never be able to tell your kids or your grandkids you outshot LeBron James.
Always remember that, little white boy. Never in your life will you ever be able to say you got a W off of the LeBron Sharp James family. Remember that shit.
That will not be on your resume.
The kid,
Never in life.
kid is trash talking LeBron on his Instagram. He's saying, "Dang it, man! I really should have beat this dude."
LeBron James getting no type of respect out here.
I should have beat this dude. It's come to this for LeBron. Really?
I was like, wow. And between me and you, I DM'd the kid and asked him, you want help with your writing? I'll help you next time. Challenge LeBron again and I'll help you.
You should have.
Yeah. So is this going to be an ongoing challenge? They're
We
going to go
done.
back and forth?
We done.
I could beat a 14-year-old.
We done with it.
Wow,
Skip.
really?
We
Okay.
done with it.
Wow.
Skip, we done with it. Like another 5 years when your old ass laid up in the hospital and I finally get the show all to myself. I'm going to be done with you.
Oh, boy, that's highly impressive. By the way, LeBron last year shot 34% from three, which is his career average.
Okay, so what? 34% higher than what your ass shoot.
Which is a career average best, better than Michael Jordan. But that ain't none of my big. You know what? I
You
don't
like
even
him
know why I
as a
brought that up.
three-point shooter?
I don't know why I bring up Michael Jordan for, Skip. I guess every day when I walk into my dressing room in the morning and I have my complimentary bonbons, it made me think of that bald head nigga. I don't know.
Shooter,
I like him better than Michael Jordan as a three-point shooter. Do you?
By the way, do you like him as a 67% free throw shooter? Because I don't.
I like him that he got more points than Michael
And
Jordan.
I like it that you gave me 76%.
I gave you 75, Skip.
76%.
75.
So here's what would impress me.
What would impress
LeBron
you?
is obviously not doing anything right now. Like,
Honestly, Shannon, what would impress me is if LeBron had the first 70, 60, 100 season. 70% from the field, 60% from three, and 100% from the free throw line. Then I'll finally give him credit.
like he's free.
He is doing something.
Oh,
He's
got
attending the Bronny.
Space Jam
Yeah, Bronny. No,
8
he got
or whatever
Bronny.
he's doing.
Bronny.
Oh, he's got Bronny?
Yep.
So, you know what would have impressed me if yesterday, unannounced, LeBron James shows up at the Golden State practice as they get ready for game one.
Yeah, this dude said he want LeBron James to go to Golden State's practice.
And he walks in the door late in practice, and he points to Steph and he points to Clay, and he says, "The three of us, let's shoot it out after practice."
How about I tell you?
Just to say, I'm going to show you. I'm going to put you two back in your place.
Shannon, that's the only thing that makes sense at this point for LeBron. How is he going to get respect back? He has to go to Golden State's practice and challenge them to a 1-on-5. That's the only way that he's going to get his machismo back. He has to go to Steph Curry and say, I'm the new king of the Western Conference. I'm going to play you guys 1-on-5. And then after the practice is over, I want him to challenge Draymond Green to a 1-on-1 fist fight and post it on YouTube. Then I'll give him credit. I'll give him respect.
You know how that would have turned out for him? Not well. Not well. Trust me.
But let me tell you what LeBron did do yesterday morning.
Yep.
I don't know if you...
Let me tell you what he did do, Skip. He built another wing to our palatial estate. Another room LeBron James built by hand with just a few nails and a hammer. Because he's Superman. He loved his family. Then he left the house, went to practice, worked out, came home, saved the cat out of a tree. That's what LeBron James does for the community.
You noticed this, but at about 5:15, guess where he was at, Skip? At the Lakers facility. On the Versa Climber.
You know how I know that, Skip? Because I was there at 5:13.
Getting his work in, getting up shots. That's where he was there. How you like that, Skip? Who else you think? What other player that's not in the playoffs you think were up at 5:30 in the morning doing what he did?
At 2:30 this morning, I was on the treadmill. I get on the treadmill every morning.
Skip Bayless be on the treadmill at 2 o'clock in the morning trying to get himself ready to get his ass kicking. Oh, man. Skip Bayless gets up 4 hours early for work and still don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Every morning. And what does it matter? Nothing. It doesn't matter any. So I'm not impressed. If LeBron, let's just say this, if last year, All-Star Saturday night, if he'd walked out and said, I'm in the three-point contest, you got me.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what else can he prove, Shannon? If he can go out there and win a three-point shooting contest and the slam dunk contest in the same night, back-to-back competitions, and then I'll start to respect him a little bit.
We don't do that. No, we don't do no.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He'd never even done the dunk contest.
First of all, Skip, the three-point competition is set a couple of weeks in advance, so they don't do walk-ups.
Well, I'm just... if he walked on and said, I want to shoot, trust me, they would say, make room for daddy, right? Here we go.
Well, that's what happened. Old boy with Charlie. Well, you see him, he's standing on the side, him and Savannah was standing on the sideline. He had his foot against the wall, just chilling.
Really?
Yeah. Him, me, Savannah, we were just chilling on the sideline. And then Dennis the Menace walk up talking about he want to have a three-point shooting contest. I said, bro, who the fuck this? You sure this ain't a setup? Go hand this little dude real quick so we can get back to eating ice cream.
Really? And old dude looked at him like, what's up? He's like, what's up? Okay, let me bust your head right quick. I know you're 14.
Bust your head?
I think it makes him approachable.
It's so impressive. I was extremely impressed. He's got that, what did he call it, a certain switch.
Yeah, he said, LeBron said he got a switch.
Switch,
I can hit.
But how cool
really?
He's hanging around.
You're going to flip the switch on a 14-year-old?
I tell you what he will do. Do. Tell Michael Jordan to show up somewhere. He'll have a shooting contest with him right now. And I'll put money on Bron.
You know what?
Skip, I promise you, we will put that old man back in retirement where he belongs. Michael Jordan will never be able to show his face ever again in life. And we're going to have a three-point shooting contest indoors. Because if it's outdoors, the nigga bald-headed. He's going to have an advantage. He's more aerodynamic.
I would put all my money on Michael Jordan. And if you want to...
Well, you don't even bring a wallet with you to work. All you have is your driver's license, so you ain't got no money on you. I don't know nobody want that 50 cents.
Wallet to work every...
No, you don't. You got your driver's license. That's it.
No.
But I'll put...
Oh, boy. Skip Bayless driver's license. Date of birth says old as dirt.
Put money on that. Put that on pay-per-view. That'll be pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Three-point competition. LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I would love that.
The first to 20.
It's clutch versus unclutch.
Whatever. Yeah, you won't bet anything about that.
I would bet. I just told you I'd bet whatever. You name it.
And you got...
I would love to see that actually happen, just to see if Shannon Sharp would put any money down on that shit. I guarantee the day before the contest, Shannon Sharp would say, Skip, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to follow through on that bet. Because I spoke to Bron last night, and he literally shat his underwear as we were talking. There was feces in his underwear. He's scared to death.
Gotta wear street clothes. Michael Jordan ain't making no three with them big old jeans on, with them granddaddy jeans.
Okay. All right.
Them big old back. You see them big old back pockets on the jeans, Skip? You thought he gonna beat LeBron?
Michael Jordan could wear golf clothes and beat LeBron.
No, he could beat at golf. Yeah, absolutely, he could beat him at golf.
He could wear golf clothes and beat him shooting.
No, Skip,
Yeah,
stop.
call
Oh,
it his
stop
look.
You.
Shannon, you know it and I know it. Michael Jordan could show up for the contest butt-ass naked and still beat LeBron James. It'd be a basketball and his other two balls, and he'd still beat LeBron.
You know,
LeBron is the shakiest clutch shooter I've ever seen.
I can't
ever
tell.
seen.
Not the playoffs.
Oh, please stop it.
He got more game winners than Mike.
And then, again,
Game-winning layups, yeah.
it's none of my business how he raises his kids. God bless him. But again, he's calling his kid the heir apparent on his new Instagram.
What he's supposed
That's
to say?
hard, man.
What's he
That's
supposed
just
to say?
hard.
I did notice
Heir
that.
apparent?
What's he supposed to say?
Well, it's a
I don't
lot.
know.
Skip, what the hell you think he gonna say? That's how we raise our children in our family. King James is King Shannon, Queen Savannah, and then we have the princes. They coming up. Don't worry about it. Just make sure that when you see us in the street, you put your head down.
Oh, no,
That's a
the
lot.
heir apparent?
Yeah, heir
He's
apparent.
14.
So,
I hope he's going to be the heir apparent. I hope he's that good.
I want him to understand that I have expectations for you, son.
Well, expectations.
Don't let me down.
Yeah, this is worse than LeVar and Lonzo, right?
Oh, stop
let's
it.
hope-
Well, I don't know, man.
Skip, the only thing I hope is that by the time Bronny get to the league, you're no longer around to stalk and harass him like you have LeBron for the last 20 years.
Oh, man.
But first of all, Skip Bayless, the likelihood of a kid outdoing a
Thank you.
transcendent dad,
Thank you.
but
Yes.
that doesn't mean he can't want him to be there, apparent.
Well, obviously you want to, but now you've posted it publicly. You've proclaimed him heir apparent.
We knew that. We know the expectations, Bron. He gave the man his last name. That should tell you everything you need to know.
You mean he gave him his first name? Everyone's going to get his last name. All his children are going to get his last name. You mean he gave him his first name?
What the expectations are.
He did. No, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, but you've seen him though, getting involved in games, getting in there, coaching, getting
By the way,
agitated. He
When
might
LeBron
be
was
a
a senior in high school, he proclaimed himself the heir apparent to the greatest player
Did he
ever
lie?
played.
You saw sports. Who that posted that is LeBron James overrated? He put it back up. I think was
Did
it
he?
Sporting News or somebody said, "Is LeBron in high school? Is he overrated?"
That's another sign of someone who's approaching their sport or their athletic mortality. They try to reflect back on shit from 20 years ago because they know the future is bleak.
Rated. He posted.
He chose to wear 23, and then he fell woefully short of 23 in every way, shape,
Made it better.
Let me say this. If we were to evaluate the expectations for LeBron James, no one would have said that by the end of his career, he would have scored more points than Michael Jordan, had more rebounds, more assists. We know that most of that is just stat padding shit. But none of us would even have expected that. So he definitely has maxed out on his expectations.
Oh, did he?
Made it better. It's like somebody coming along making the light bulb brighter than Graham.
Really? Boy, I hope Bronny can make 23 better.
No. Yeah.
Skip, don't try that shit. I see what you're doing. Trying to sow dissension in our family. Trying to make little Bronny Jr. worried and turn against his father. You know, you're really a piece of shit.
Yeah, you noticed the dude on his team got 23. Bron said,
did notice that.
Bron said, I'm Deuce.
a number.
Bron-
Hard to live up to.
I hate it.
Gabe,
Gabe doesn't
Gabe,
seem too worried.
dang it, man.
Gabe
I really
doesn't
should have
live
beat
up
this
to it.
dude. He's calling
Yo, Skip can't get over it. I really should have beat this dude.
this dude.
Yeah, at what?
Who is this
Good
dude?
for him.
That's
That's going to
what
be
you
the best day he's
Bron
had.
walked up to him and said,
Come on,
"Come on,
LeBron.
catch yourself."
LeBron is better than this.
I love hanging
Hell yeah, he is. He's better than this. He's better than you.
nail on young people.
No.
They keep them in their place.
14
We're going to talk
13.
about Steph.
But anyway, that's basically it on that. So peace.